Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be doing the Hindsight is 2020 book tag, or the Hindsight is 2020 tag. I wasn't tagged by anybody. I saw this over on the Bookish Bryant's channel, and I told them, I said, hey, it looks like a fun tag to do, and they said, yep. They said, basically said I should do it, so I'm going to do it. And hindsight being 2020, I had to look back because I've done so many tags, and I had to look back to find out, have I done this tag already? I don't see it in my playlist for my tag videos, and I don't see it in any recent ones. So as far as I know, I have not done this tag. Anyway, there are a total of 5 questions, and then there is the 6th question, which is to tag somebody. So that being said, let's go ahead and get underway. And this is basically one of those, it kind of gives you a little bit of a history of whoever is being tagged, history of them as a reader. All right, so there you go. Anyway, question number 1. What were you like as an early and learning reader? I remember when I was about, I think it was probably about 2 years old, I read War and Peace. All right. My mom had some flashcards, and on one of those flashcards, she had the word war, and the other one, she had the word peace. So, yeah, 2 years old, I read War and Peace. But my earliest memory as far as being a reader and stuff, and how does this quote this? How does this read this? Early and learning reader. I've told this before. When I was a little kid, we used to exchange presents and all that. And I got Dr. Dolittle one time, and I literally threw the book across the room. I wanted toys. Little did I know that my attitude toward books would change quite soon. Once I got to school, once they had the whole scholastic book club thing, my attitude totally changed toward reading. I've always been able to read very well, and probably on a higher level than I believe when I was like in 2nd grade, I was reading to 6th graders. And that's not bragging. I was literally reading on a 6th grade level to these guys. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. And like I said, I'm not bragging, but the teacher literally dragged me out of my classroom and took me to a 6th grade class and had me read in front of these 6th graders, which was really strange. I mean, that's what I remember about it. I remember it being a very strange situation. So yeah. Anyway, that's probably my best answer I can give you for the first one. All right. Number 2, what book or book series really got you excited about reading as a kid? Gosh, as a kid. Well, as a kid can mean as a teenager, or a tween, or whatever. Oh, how old was I when I got my parents got me The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series probably when I was about 13, maybe 14 years old. Back at that time, it was very much talked about. Everybody was reading it. I don't think I ever said to them, hey, I want to read these books, but sometimes they would surprise me. And I did. I read the entire series. I read The Hobbit. I read The Lord of the Rings. I didn't read the Silmarillion or Silmarillion or what it was called. That bored me. I started to read it, and it bored me. And I'm sure there's a lot of Tolkien fans out there going, oh, my God, you were bored by this? I mean, how are you so bored by it? I just was, okay? So, yeah, probably that. And then when I was in school, I ordered Dracula. The novel, not the illustrated or anything like that, the novel Dracula from Scholastic Book Services, and that was the very first horror novel that I recall reading, and it was actually the first novel that I read also, so that was a big thing there. All right, so there's my answer for number 2, all right? Number 3, has there been a person in your life, real or fictional, who inspired you to be a reader? Well, oh, gosh, real or fictional? Would I be able to count my mom? Because my mom used to read those things like, I probably shouldn't tell you this. I mean, really, this is bad. My mom used to read these books like Valley of the Dolls and Once Is Not Enough and she read this book called The Happy Hooker, and she always kept them in her drawer. And I was a nosy kid, all right? And I went through and I started reading through this, and I got interested. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking about this. I got interested in the dirty parts, or the parts underlined, if you want to say that. So that kind of sparked my interest as being a reader. Whether that was an inspiration, I don't know. Like I said, I probably shouldn't even be telling you guys this, but my mom's passed away. You know, God rest her soul and all, but yeah, I mean, being a nosy kid and being a kid who'd like to read, if I saw a book, I would usually pick it up and flip through parts of it. And I just happened to flip through some of the, and hair, weird, some of the more risque parts of those books. Yeah, several times. Yeah, so if you want to say that, that's fine. I shouldn't have told that story. Anyway. All right, number 4, at what point did you begin to identify as a reader? I was never a sporting kid. I mean, I played baseball. My dad had a baseball team. He sponsored a baseball team, and I don't even remember what position I played. I think I was left field, and I got one hit. I played for 2 years. I got one hit. All right. So that goes to show you I'm not exactly the most athletic kid, or I was the most athletic kid. Football, forget it. Now, football actually was pretty decent at. I was good at catching and stuff. Horrible thrower, but a decent catcher. But anyway, a receiver. But I was never really into sports like a lot of other kids were. In fact, I had some rather embarrassing moments as playing sports. I don't know if I want to tell you of them. I'm not going to. But yeah, once I realized I wasn't the sporting type, I realized I was more of a reader. I started to accept myself more as a reader and started to enjoy it more. And and then, like I said, the whole Scholastic Book Services thing helped also. So there you go. Number 5. How has being a reader shaped your life and your worldview? That's an interesting question. How has being a reader shaped my life and my worldview? Well, it's helped me. One thing it's helped me to learn is that there's just all kinds of people. There's good people, there's bad people, there's, just so many different kinds of people. That's kind of a hard question to answer. I'm not really sure how to answer that. And me being a horror fan, and being almost exclusively a horror fan, and reading horror almost exclusively, I don't know if I want to say that shaped my worldview of things. But I also read biographies at times. I love reading rock and roll biographies of people like Bruce Springsteen, Warren Zevon, Kate Bush. So it's kind of helped me to get a little insight into their lives and how they live, and also basically how the other half lives, I guess you could say. But I really don't know how to answer that question any other way than that. So it's done its part. There will also different authors, different writing styles, and a lot of it has to do with where they come from. Look at Stephen King. Most of his stuff, I'd say 95% of Stephen King's stuff takes place in Maine. You get the way people from Maine talk in his stories. Same thing with somebody like H.P. Lovecraft. Most of his stuff took place around the Connecticut, Rhode Island, the New England area. All right, so yeah, there you go. And then you have people like Joe R. Lansdale, Texas. You have people like I'm trying to think here. Trying to think of some Southern writers. I'm drawing a total blank. A lot of Robert McCammon stuff takes place in the South. All right. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, last question is it's not a question, it's to tag somebody who's reading history you want to know more, learn more about. All right. So what I did was I went to my comments and I picked the first or the last three comments, the last three people who commented. So for that, and I will leave a link to their channels in the description. So for that, I'm going to tag, I think this is my first time tagging her also. I'm going to tag Bagelhouse Books. I'm going to tag Mindy's Book Journey. And I'm going to tag Typical Books Horror Fiction, which is Lydia's channel. All right, so you have been tagged, you three. And that is the Hindsight is 2020 book tag. I'm going to post this on Tuesday afternoon. Thank you very, very much for watching, and you guys have a great evening. Bye.